Hello, students. This is just a quick update on the plan to meet for our conferences on Monday using the Big Blue Button meetings tool. So I just wanted to go over this very quickly. If you look at our main homepage schedule, you'll see that we are going to have our proposals due to the assignments area by Friday at midnight. And the idea is that then I will have an opportunity over the weekend to look at your proposals, and I will be able to sort of offer some feedback. But then I think it would also be good for us to meet as a class and sort of discuss these proposals in a little bit more detail. So we're going to try and experiment in using this meeting tool that I had some training on last year. And it's not entirely essential that we be able to meet face to face, so to speak, to go over the proposals. I just think it would be an interesting experiment to try and see if we might communicate a little bit more about these very important final projects. And it's a lot more efficient for me to provide sort of video or audio comment on your proposals than it is to try and offer written feedback in every case. So what we'll do is, you'll notice on the schedule it says on Monday there will be two live meeting times scheduled from noon to 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I'm in the Mountain Time Zone. Or 6 p.m. To 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And my thought is that this should give people on most of us are actually east of here, but there are those of you on the East Coast time, we'll give you some time in the early afternoon and then some time maybe later in the evening. And for those of you who can't meet at this time because you have work or other obligations or you don't have access to the internet, just email me and we'll figure out some alternative arrangements. And basically the meeting is already quote-unquote open, so it's just an open meeting. You go to the meetings tool here in our course and you'll see Project 3 conferences, and you as a student will see a little bit different pane. You click on this and it has some explanations there, and you just simply join the meeting. And you can go ahead and experiment with this on your own if you'd like. You do need to have Flash enabled on your computer in order to use it. Basically, once it's up and running, you might try before we meet on Monday just logging into this, or you don't even have to log in, you just click in. You should all have access because we're going through Sakai, the course. You should have access. There's a series of techniques that it takes you through in order to test your participation. You are generally going to want to use some sort of headphones and microphone sort of setup if you can. If you don't have this, usually you can work through your laptop and it's usually sufficient, but the issue is with the volume coming out of the screen and then going into the microphone, which is usually near where the speakers are, sometimes it causes some crosstalk and it can screw up the meeting. And so in those cases, we might have to have people mute their mics or whatnot. Anyway, the meeting is set up in a way to sort of be very user-friendly, so it'll take you through a process for testing your microphone, which you can do. If you have a Mac product like I do, an Apple product, you're going to have to go through all these Adobe Flash settings that are kind of a pain in the butt, but you allow access to your machine. If you're on a different type of platform, you might have to click through some other buttons to give this meeting tool permissions to access your microphone and hopefully your webcam. And you can see this will take you through a process of sort of checking your built-in microphone and speakers. You can test the speakers, test the microphone. See, here we have the sort of cancel. You get the crosstalk because I'm not using the built-in headphones. Okay, so I'm going to click out of that. So, but when we meet on Monday, I will be using my earbuds and microphone, and it should work okay. And then once you're in the meeting room, there's a set of tools that it's fairly I mean, there's quite a few options for the instructor. There's more of these tools available than you will have available. But one of the things you will want to do is, if possible, join through the webcam. So you have to give your your browser the permission there to do that. And let's see if this is still working here. Well, now I'm screwing up the webcams because I'm in the live meeting trying to show you how to do this, and the screencasting software is not. But hopefully this will record the video. And as you can see, when you go over to this part, I'll start sharing over here. You'll see I'm over in this corner now. Hopefully this is recording. But anyway, there's a variety of tools, and when students come in, we'll have a pane with people who's if they're sharing their video, we can see each other, and then I can also bring in your documents, your files that you'll be submitting in your portfolios. I'll bring them forward. We'll just simply talk about our proposals, and I'll give some feedback. We'll try this out and see how it works on Monday. Okay. So and basically there are some there's some tutorials and some other videos over on this side of the site. We'll try this out on Monday and see how it works. Play around with it in the meantime. If you have any questions, just simply email me, and we'll go from there. All right, let's give it a shot.